ella de otras adaptaciones, ¿qué diría ella que aporta esta película?
Compared to other adaptations of this film, what would you say is your contribution here?
My contribution? Wow, I think, you know, as that's I guess up to the viewer in the end. I mean, why I wanted to be part of this project is, you know, the fact that I was introduced that it was going to be a very different take of this beloved character that has been with us for 22 years. Myself, I was, you know, a young girl when for the first time I stepped into a living room and I saw a female protagonist in a video game and was so curious and wow, because I had never seen that before. And it really intrigued me when I met the producers and the director Raw, and they told me that this film was going to be much more inspired by the rebooted games from 2013, which is an origin story. And I think as an actor, there was, you know, a lot, you know, of depth in that character to explore, because it's a coming-of-age story. She's not the action hero that we so well know her to be in the beginning, and instead we get to be on a journey of a young person who's trying to find her footing in the world and who is thrown out on an adventure not knowing what to expect, and really is, you know, has a kind of human relationship to the struggles that she goes through, and for each step that she takes and kind of each part of her development that she earns, I think there's a way for us to really root for her when she's pulling this warrior out of her.
Es una Lara Croft que, aunque se muestra en los inicios, ¿no?, pero que no está tan sexualizada. Entonces, yo no sé si ella cree que algo está cambiando en el cine, y sobre todo en el mundo de héroes y de películas de acción.
Do you think we could say there is something changing in the hero films and the industry in general when we see that this Lara Croft is less sexual?
Well, first of all, we're seeing a big difference, I think, for women at the time. I think it's quite rare that we get to see female up on screen. And I think, to be honest, the true reason why sometimes women have been looked with only one perspective and not been properly fleshed out characters is because they just haven't had any space. Their stories haven't been able to come to the surface. And I also think that it's not the character that's changed. To be honest, I think it's our society that is changing. If you were to go out on the street and meet any boy or girl up now, I think due to the fact, thank God, that we live in different times, if you would ask them, what do you find aspiring? What do you find attractive, even sexy? I think that you would get a very, very different answer now than what you got 20 years ago, which is fantastic, because it's really, you know, time for, and I think it's lovely that it's a hunger at the moment to make all these stories that haven't been able to get a light shine upon them get to the surface.
¿Y qué referentes cree que necesitan, por ejemplo, las niñas de hoy, ¿no?, o los jóvenes en el cine? ¿Qué le gustaría en cuanto a las mujeres, ¿no?, qué le gustaría a ella mostrar?
What references do you think, or would you like to show girls nowadays as healthy references or good references in the cinema?
Like I said, I think, you know, the most important. I'm very tired of hearing strong female characters, because that I don't know what that is. Instead, what you're looking for is fleshed out characters. Women and men can be soft-spoken, not physically strong, but, you know, if you have levels of a character and if you get to really get close to them, there's a way for us to relate with any types of, you know, people or personalities. I love here that it is a woman that, you know, a character that will be able to go on a journey and pull the warrior out of her. But in the beginning, you know, she's human. She's a young woman who hasn't found her footing in the world. And the fact that she, even though she's going through tough times, she's able to kind of put a smile on her face and pull herself up, which I personally would find very admirable in any person. You know, I feel like because she's going on this journey where it's tough and really not easy for her. We get to be with her on the journey, and for each step when she kind of earns finding her own path, I think we will really root for her.
Para terminar, quería hacerle una pregunta acerca de, digamos, del movimiento Me Too, ¿no? Que apareció en los Estados Unidos en los últimos meses, y que cómo piensa ella que se podría combatir o que se debería combatir el problema de los abusos.
So regarding the Me Too movement that came up in Hollywood, how do you think this should be fought, this harassment thing?
So
how do you think things should be fought? What's the right perspective? So how should we fight against?
First of all, I mean, the stories that have come up to the surface over the last few months have truly been horrific, and I'm so happy to know that these stories are coming out, and that we make a really definite step forward to make sure that this never happens again. The good thing is that it's been a change over the last few years, I feel, and it's really been just amping up in time over the last few months due to the things that have come to the surface. But happily, I choose to see things with a very positive eye. I really think it's wonderful that now, due to the fact that people's eyes are hopefully a bit more open, change is not just talked about, it's actually happening. And I feel like it's a very creative time. I feel like I've met so many, incredible women over the last few months, maybe become more friends with more actresses than I've had in my entire career, due to the fact that sadly I've been a woman who kind of thought that it's just part of how things are when I'm the only woman in a room, whilst now people see things differently and make sure that that's not how it's going to continue. Thank you.